Before the worlds began, you were always there. You are Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. Hello and welcome to the Living Well broadcast. My name is Dr. Levonne Samon. I'm a primary care physician and I'm also board certified in internal medicine. My goal with the broadcast is to provide a way for you to send in questions that you may have regarding your medical care. It's not easy sometimes to get the answers that you need. Sometimes we're not even sure what's the right question to ask. So I'm hoping that this broadcast will help give you information that's helpful, that will help guide you along the journey towards better health. In 3 John verse 2, it says, "Dear friend, I hope that all is well with you, and that you are as healthy in body as you are strong in spirit." God wants us to be healthy in our bodies, our soul, and our spirit. And my goal is to guide you by giving some answers to questions that you may have so that you can make a better decision about your health. There's nothing like getting a good understanding of what's going on. So send in your questions and I'll do my best to answer them. So welcome and let's get into today's broadcast. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Living Well broadcast. We're now in the month of June and we have covered a lot of topics over the past few months. And today we have a brand new topic for you. I hope that you've been living well. I hope that you have been able to implement some of the things that we have been talking about. And if not implement them, continue them. And there's still time. It's never too late to start. So today our topic is going to be about the health of your kidneys. We have covered other topics such as diabetes and high blood pressure. And right in that same category, we need to talk about your kidneys because both of those things can affect the health of your kidneys. First of all, we want to talk about where your kidneys are in your body. So it's in the area under your rib cage in the back. So if you were to put your hands on your back, right below your rib cage is where your kidneys are located. They're not down there by your hips. I have a lot of patients that come in and say, my kidneys are hurting, and they're pointing to the lower part of their back, and that's not where your kidneys are. So don't panic when you have lower back pain because that's not where your kidneys are located. They're right under your rib cage, and they're in the shape of beans. So the name kidney beans came about because they look like a kidney. And so they're about the size of your fists, and they are so vital in maintaining the health of your body. Remember, as we've said before, God said in his word, Psalm 139, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Thank God he made us where we can consume things, but he also made a way for us to eliminate things that are not healthy for our bodies. And so the kidneys, their purpose is to filter the blood. All the blood that comes out of your heart flows through your body and it circulates through your kidneys. So your kidneys, if you can imagine in your kitchen, you may have what's called a sifter for flour, and it has tiny holes in it. And when you put your flour in there and you shake it around, the larger particles stay inside the sifter and the smaller ones come through the holes. So in the kidneys, it works the same way. The kidneys, as the blood comes through, it keeps the larger particles, such as your protein, which you need for the health of your cells, and other minerals that you need. It keeps it inside the bloodstream. And then the toxins that you don't need come out and get made into urine. Your kidneys filter about a half a cup of blood per minute. So it's amazing. We're going about our daily lives, walking, talking, eating, and all of that good stuff. And your heart is working, and your brain is working, and your kidneys are working. Aren't we just awesome products of God's creation? And we want to use what he's given us well and protect them well so that we can serve him. Now, a lot of times patients do come in and they want to get their urine checked because they think that their kidneys are hurting, as I said before. And so you have to know that the location of the kidneys is higher up in your back and not lower, not the lower back. The bladder and the kidneys are connected by tiny tubes that are called ureters. And once the kidney filters the blood and makes the urine, it sends it through those tiny tubes called ureters down to your bladder. Your bladder works as a storage unit for your urine. And when the amount of urine that collects in your bladder gets past a certain amount, it sends a trigger to your brain to let you know that your bladder is full and you need to go empty your bladder. Sometimes when patients are told that their kidneys are not functioning well, they don't believe it because they say, well, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm making urine. And that's true. The bladder is not affected with kidney disease until your kidney disease is at a late stage where your kidneys cannot make the urine to go to the bladder, and then you cannot empty your bladder. You cannot urinate. You're not producing any urine. So the kidneys produce the urine, the bladder stores the urine. The amount of urine that you put out is not affected by your kidney function until the kidney function is at its last stages of functioning. And so we're going to start at the healthy stage of the kidneys. How do we measure the health of your kidneys? It's not done by a bladder urine test, as you may have thought. It's done by a blood test. And the blood test checks certain proteins and also what's called creatinine, BUN, and a filtration rate. So if you were ever to look at a printout of your lab results, you will see BUN, creatinine, and something called EGFR. The GFR stands for glomerular filtration rate, and the E means estimated. So EGFR, those are the things that you look for. And the EGFR in a healthy person is somewhere between 90 and 100 when you're younger. Okay, so a healthy 20-year-old should have an EGFR somewhere between 90 and 100. Remember, I told you that the kidney is made up of these filters. There are about 1 million filters in each kidney. And with time, just like how our facial features change, our skin changes as we get older, the kidney also changes with aging. And some of those filters do die off. And so the rate that the kidney can filter the blood can decrease over time just with getting older. We don't worry about it until that filtration rate gets below 60. And that's when it's diagnosed as chronic kidney disease. So above 60 is good, below 60 is not so good. Things that cause the kidney function to deteriorate, in addition to aging, are uncontrolled blood sugars. So with diabetes that is not well controlled, that can damage your kidneys. For another thing that can do that is your blood pressure. Your blood pressure, if it's not well controlled, can also damage the kidneys. So what we've been speaking about on prior broadcasts, emphasizing the need to get those things under control, is important for your heart as well as your kidneys. Your kidneys filter out the bad stuff and lets it go in the urine. And in addition to filtration, the kidney also performs other functions. It helps to produce certain hormones. Some of these hormones help to control your blood pressure. They also help with the production of red blood cells in your bone marrow. And it also produces hormones that help keep your bones strong and healthy. So a person that has high blood pressure that's not well controlled, it can also cause kidney damage. But when your kidneys get below a certain rate of functioning, the hormone that it produces to help control your blood pressure is not produced as much as it should, which causes the blood pressure to be even harder to control. So it's a double-edged sword. The high blood pressure is damaging the kidneys. the damaged kidneys is causing a high blood pressure. A lot of times patients with kidney disease also have some anemia because they don't have the amount of hormone needed to produce the red blood cells in the bone marrow. And so anemia is a common finding with chronic kidney disease. And over time, if the kidneys don't function well, it can cause uh, your bones to become brittle or easy to break, things that we call osteopenia or osteoporosis, which we'll deal with on another broadcast. What can we do when we are in a healthy stage of our life where we can have normal kidney function? What do we do to maintain that? Well, we have mentioned already about keeping the blood pressure and the blood sugar under control. We also want to mention keeping your body well hydrated. Your body is composed of about 60 to 70% water. And so we need to keep water in our system to keep our kidneys flushed and healthy. If you've already been told that you have chronic kidney disease and it's at a later stage, they may tell you to limit the amount of water that you drink because the kidneys can only handle so much. Or if you have congestive heart failure, they may also tell you to limit your water intake. So going back to the numbers, when your eGFR is between 30 and 59, that's considered to be chronic kidney disease stage 3. I've noticed in my practice that when patients are first told about this, they become very frightened and concerned because you're mentioning kidneys. And their mind immediately goes to dialysis, which most, I would say, nobody wants. And we can let you know that chronic kidney disease stage 3 can remain chronic kidney disease stage 3 for the rest of your life. It does not have to progress to end stage kidney disease. What you can do if you've been told that you have chronic kidney disease stage 3 is, again, be diligent with getting the blood pressure and blood sugar under control. Try to lose weight if you are obese, and then avoid certain things. And the reason why we bring it to your attention is because there are certain things that you can do that can worsen your kidney function. Let's start with pain relievers, especially things that you buy in the store. Your pain relievers that contain ibuprofen, such as Motrin and Advil, those things can damage your kidneys. So if you've been told that you have chronic kidney disease, you want to avoid ibuprofen. You also want to avoid naproxen or naproxen, which is found in Aleve. So your Aleve, Motrin, Advils, avoid those. For pain, it is safe to take Tylenol. And also, if you have chronic kidney disease, again, remain hydrated based on what your doctor has instructed you to do. There are some other things that can damage your kidneys, such as if you are to go for a CT scan or an MRI that requires you to get contrast. Make sure that they're aware that you have chronic kidney disease and they can adjust the testing based on your needs to keep your kidneys protected. A lot of times I'm asked, how can I reverse this? If your kidney function went down because of something that happened suddenly, let's just say the rare case of you are stranded on a desert island and you do not have access to water and you become severely dehydrated, it will affect your kidneys. However, when you're rescued and hydrated, your kidney function may return to normal. If your kidney damage has occurred over the years because of chronic diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure, once those filters are damaged, they're damaged, and they're not restored usually. There have been rare cases of patients that have been on dialysis and were able to get off dialysis by doing some things to improve their blood sugar and blood pressure. Again, those are rare. So we want to try to address things before they get to that stage. If your kidney function is now stage 4, or stage 5, we have more serious problems. They usually start talking about dialysis when it drops below 30, that GFR, just making you prepared for what could be in your future. And usually they don't start putting in an access for dialysis until you're around 15 to 20 on those numbers. So if your numbers are between 30 and 59, praise God, stay there. You can live into your 90s or longer with stage 3 kidney disease. So don't let that be a source of worry. It's just a caution light to let you know what you need to do and what you need to take care of. When you have chronic kidney disease, the other thing that you want to make sure you limit is your intake of of colas, dark sodas, your Cokes and things like that. The clear sodas are better for you, but not good for you. If you are going to do diet sodas, then limit it to one diet soda per day. The other things that worsen your kidneys are, of course, are things that raise your blood pressure and your blood sugar. So you want to avoid a lot of salt. Salt causes your body to retain more fluid, which give the kidneys more work to do. Your sugary drinks, the sweetened iced tea with a ton of sugar in there, and Kool-Aid, for those of you that still drink Kool-Aid, that's a heavy load of crystals. Just imagine you have crystals in your blood, the sugar forms crystals, and your filters in your kidneys are trying to filter that out. It damages the kidneys because they can't go through the holes. So the best things to drink, of course, are water. Even coffee with low fat milk is okay. And unsweetened cranberry juice. Those are some things that are good and safe for you to drink. Are there other medications that I should avoid if I have been told I have chronic kidney disease? We talked about the ibuprofen and the naproxen products. Your doctor may prescribe certain things that are for other diseases, such as indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux. When you're taking what's called proton pump inhibitors, these are things like pantoprazole, omeprazole, which you may know as Prilosec, or Protonix. Medicines in that category can cause further harm to your kidneys. It would be better to be put on what is known as an H2 blocker. These are things such as famotidine, which is Pepcid. And so those are things that you want to ask your doctor about. Am I on any medications that is harming my kidneys? Sometimes patients have the false conception that there are medicines that they are taking that is causing damage to their kidneys. There's a difference between medications that cause damage to the kidneys and medications that need to be stopped because you already have kidney damage. So metformin, commonly prescribed medication for diabetes, is fine. It does not damage your kidneys, as many people have told me that they've read this online or heard it from their friends that metformin damages the kidneys. It does not. However, if your kidney function gets to the point where it's 30 or below, then metformin needs to be stopped because your kidneys cannot handle it. So there's a difference between medications that damage the kidneys and medications that your kidneys cannot handle because your kidney function is reduced. A lot of times when you have chronic kidney disease, your doctor will recommend certain medications to help protect your kidneys. And these are where things like lisinopril or losartan come in. They are in the categories known as ACE inhibitors or angiotensin receptor blockers, ARBs. So these medications may be added Sometimes patients have diabetes and they are put on an ACE inhibitor, such as lisinopril, to protect the kidneys, even though their blood pressure is normal. So they will put you on a very low dose of lisinopril, say 2.5 milligrams, to help protect the kidneys without dropping your blood pressure too much. If you already are at end-stage kidney disease and you've been told you need dialysis, that's a heavy piece of information to absorb. And many people refuse dialysis because they've seen complications that have come about from dialysis. I've seen both sides. I've seen patients that are on dialysis and have been on dialysis for even 25, 30 years and doing well. Some of them get up and go to dialysis and then go to work. But then there are others that are quite ill and can't function as well. I think a lot of it has to do with your lifestyle and what you can do, or the stage that you realize that you had chronic kidney disease was so late that you could not do a whole lot about it. Dialysis does help to preserve and prolong life, and you can do it if that's what's been recommended. There are choices between getting hemodialysis, where you go into a center and they connect you to the machines and get the blood filtered through the machines. And there's also peritoneal dialysis, which can be done at home. And that also is another way of getting your kidneys some assistance with filtering your blood. These are topics that you'll have to discuss in more detail with your primary care provider. As for now, do what you can to maintain your kidneys if they're already healthy. If you're already been told you are at stage 3 chronic kidney disease, it's not the end of the world. There are things that you can do to maintain it without it progressing to stage 4 and stage 5 and needing dialysis. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. June is actually Men's Health Month. For my brothers out there, I want you to take good care of yourselves. Many men do not go to the doctor, and I know it has something to do with probably feeling in control, just like wanting to be in the driver's seat in the car. You can also be in the driver's seat when it comes to your health. The only way that you can be in the driver's seat is by knowing what's going on with your body. And you can then take charge of things that are trying to control your body before they take control of you. I'm so happy that we had a chance to spend some time today on this Living Well broadcast. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I need your questions. I'm sure you have questions. Your doctors may have said something to you that you don't quite understand. You need further clarity on that. You have questions about your medication, whether or not they're causing a certain side effect. Please email me at livingwellmd123, livingwellmd123@gmail.com. That's livingwellmd123@gmail.com. Until next time, continue to live well, and God bless you.
Before the worlds began, you were always there. You are Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end.
You have been listening to the Living Well broadcast with Dr. Levonne Samon. I hope that you heard something today that you found helpful and that will help you get better and live better. If you have questions about your health, your medications, or treatment plan, please send them to livingwellmd123@gmail.com. That's livingwellmd123@gmail.com. I will do my best to address them at a future broadcast. You can find me here on Awesome Radio on the first Saturday of each month at 12 noon. I look forward to speaking with you again at that time, and until then,